As we jump through this list of Nintendo's 2019 games, I want you to think about one thing. If this is the games that we know for 2019, this is the slate that is laid out before us, then what don't we know? What are the indie games? What are the third-party games? And what are Nintendo's own games coming to this system that we don't know about already in 2019? That's what's almost most exciting for me. But today's video isn't about the fiction, it's about the facts. Actually, you know what? Before we start, I should let you know, this list, no particular order. It's just wherever I grabbed them from is where it landed in the list. And if you enjoy fun videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Kicking our list off is Yoshi's Crafted World. Now this is actually coming in spring 2019, although if you're myself an Australian, it actually means autumn 2019. It all gets very confusing. Now what makes this game interesting is, as the name would suggest, it's a crafted world, meaning that everything seems to be like made out of paper craft and different bits of cardboard and whatever they could slap together. And of course, as you're running through the level once, you kind of get the idea. But the fun part to this is when you finish a level, you get to play it again from the opposite side and see the way everything's put together from the back, the sticky tape that's holding all the joints together. It's kind of cool. But of course, if you've played a Yoshi or Kirby game in the last 10 years, you're probably going to get the idea already for what they're going for here. There is actually two-player mode as well, so if you want to play with two players, you can do that. And I think that I always found that my preferred way to play these games, because it just adds a little bit more fun to exploring these worlds, which I'm kind of getting used to how the way Kirby and Yoshi games are kind of put together these days. You start to see the slips in the cracks, the bends in the cardboard, the rips in the paper. This game is just shaping up to be just a beautiful toy box. You've got these Poochie Pups, they're so adorable. You've got Yoshi dressed as a cupcake, and you've got the Shy Guy here with a knife.
He's got a knife!
It's a little tinfoil knife too.
Yeah, Shy Guy's been going through this phase ever since Paper Mario. Now the next one here on my list is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now if you can believe it, it's been 10 years since we've had Fire Emblem on a home console. And this new one is shaping up more beautiful than ever. You have these armies that seem to be free roaming, and your troops actually look like armies now. Of course you have your captain, but then when you go into battle you get to see all your soldiers around you. I love that look. It's really bringing life to the franchise. And you have this free roaming ability as well, which they haven't really gone into detail about what this is yet, whether it's going to be like around towns, or whether it's going to be more like, I think it was Fire Emblem Echoes where you can explore dungeons and things like that. But that seems to be really interesting. Also, take a look at these anime cutscenes. Like this guy right here, this badass, he's ripped right out of Castlevania. I hope there's a whip class. I need that whip. And this theme music, when they drop it, oh my god, it is so good. Now if you enjoy feeling old, a remastered version of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube is coming to the Switch. And this game came out 15 years ago. Yikes. In my circle of friends, they used to tear this game apart. But I'm loving the fact this is coming back, because talking about this game online now just seems to be one big group hug. Everyone seems to be enjoying the fact that this is coming back, and I can't wait. Probably the most exciting thing is that we get to ditch the link cables from the Game Boy Advance. That's right, to play multiplayer with this, you used to have friends. My biggest problem, you used to have Game Boy Advances with all your friends and link cables to connect them all up to your GameCube. Now all you have to do is just go online. You can just play with your friends online. Yes! The one downside to this that I don't think they fixed is that to carry the chalice around, one of the players had to do that. Meaning that there's always one player who's just on carrying duty. But if you do play single player, as you probably know, the little mog will carry around your little chalice for you. Now one game that I'm actually really excited for that got announced in the E3 Direct from last year is Daemon X Machina. I did not expect for this game to kind of blow me away the way it has, but watching the footage coming up to this and looking at the art style, this game just has me captured at the moment. For those of you who don't know, it is a mech combat game. We don't have a firm release date of when it's coming out yet, but basically you'll be taking on other giant mechs in your mech, and you can play this up to 4 players, as well as customize your mech, customize your avatar. There just seems to be a lot going on in this game, more than I expected to see from this. Now, a lot of you are probably just coming off Pokemon Let's Go, and I'd love to hear what some of you thought about that if you did play it in the comments. But I'm also wondering what you're thinking about Pokemon 2019, because Pokemon 2019, which almost makes it sound like a FIFA game or a sports game where they just name them after the year they're coming, it seems to be a return to the handheld, although the Switch is a handheld, so I don't exactly know how to explain that anymore. Anyway, what do we know about this? Well, we know one, it's coming in 2019, hence the name Pokemon 2019 at the moment. We also know that there's going to be new Pokemon, meaning that it's not just a continuation of another one in the series. This is an all new world? That sounds like a Pokemon intro.
It's a whole new world we live in. Pokemon Johto.
Also, 2 more facts that we know about it. We know that it'll be criticized by thousands for not being innovative enough and then selling the millions anyway. Now, one that's probably hot in your mind at the moment is Smash Brothers, because we are getting DLC of 5 more characters added next year, within the next year. We'll also see the release of the rest of the amiibo that are said to be coming with this. And I'm sure a lot of you are already hyped for Piranha Plant, which, yeah, same. This next one is one that I'm not sure a lot of people are excited for, because I'm not sure a lot of people played it on the Wii. But personally, I'm really hyped for this one. And that's Chocobo Mystery Dungeon Everybody. Now, this game isn't going to be for everybody. It's basically a top-down tactics game that every time you move your Chocobo, the enemy moves as well. Of course, this one is bringing in a new buddy system, new dungeons, new jobs, and this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, stunning new box art. Although this is only confirmed for Japan at the moment, and I tell you what, if it doesn't come outside of Japan, I'm not going to be happy. I'll fight you, Japan. Don't tempt me. So this Obscure Wii game is coming out in winter, which feels really strange to say. Not just because it's summer here and it's coming out in winter, but because I said obscure, and Obscure Wii game is basically every game that didn't have Wii or Mario in the title. The next one we have here is Dragon Quest Builders 2. Now, this is actually a really interesting one because there's so much I could say about this, because we actually just got a demo with lots and lots of stuff in it, which I'm not going to go over everything that's new in this game because there's just too much. But there's that demo that if you want to check out yourself, create a Japanese eShop account and then download the demo and give it a go. It's pretty easy to work your way through. The game's also already out in Japan, which is why there's so much info already out on this game. So I'm not just going to go through all the info. All I'm going to say is it's coming out sometime in 2019. There's a bunch of DLC that actually just got announced for Japan. So when all of that works its way over here, which I hope it will, it might actually come in one complete version, which would be really nice. And for those of you who played the original, they've added so much and fixed so much in this game. Not that the original was bad, but they've just added so much extra stuff. It's amazing. It's almost like Minecraft, except Minecraft is just one version that just kept on going and kept on updating. This, they're just like, we're gonna give you a new game every couple of years, and that will have all the new stuff in it. Which is actually the model that I prefer because I get a new story and new other content every time it comes along as well. Now there's a bunch more here on my list, but we're going to jump through them because there's not a lot known on these next games. And the first one here is Mario Kart Tour. All right, so here we go. The first one we have is Animal Crossing. Now I'm not going to mention how many years since we had this on a home console because I really don't want to upset anyone else. But we are finally getting a core Animal Crossing back on home console, so that's really exciting. Next one here is Luigi's Mansion. We got a short trailer of this one which actually showed off a couple new things like the new Poltergust and the fact that it has a plunger in the end that it can shoot now. We also have more overwhelming support from Square Enix, who's bringing Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy XII. And these will all be playable for the first time on a Nintendo console. Now, while they're not remasters, I'm still really excited about them. Apart from 12, actually. 12 is getting a bunch of new features added to it. So that one is definitely one to keep an eye on if you've already played the original. Now, we also have Town. No, not A Town. Town is the name of the game. It's a game being made by Game Freak. We don't know much about this one. We did get a short trailer which kind of goes over some features. So basically it's an RPG that's kind of all set in one town, hence the name, I guess. And this is a working title, I should mention that. This is not the final name for the game. Now I do want to mention while this is from the developer of Pokemon, don't expect a big game because Game Freak quite often do these small side projects that aren't huge. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of kind of content there to go through, but it's not going to be anything on the level of Pokemon. Then we've also got 3 games coming in January, which is New Super Mario Bros. U, Travis Strikes Again, the new No More Heroes game, and Tales of Vesperia. Now I'm not going to say anything more on them because they're so close. In fact, some of you probably will have played them by the time you see this video. Lastly on our list, we have Dragon Quest XI's, which is the 11 version for Switch, but doesn't actually stand for Switch, it stands for something else. I don't know, it's all very confusing. Now this is actually not confirmed to be coming outside of Japan before 2019, so... Now that last one on the list was a bit of a cop-out because we don't actually know if it's coming in 2019 and there's this build-up of facts, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm sure there's some games that I've missed. So why don't you jump down to the comments below, let me know any of that I've missed if you can think of any off the top of your head. And remember, for great Nintendo entertainment, you can count on me.